offers emergent gameplay better than any game that I've ever seen. And all of us have a story to tell. Join me in this episode as people from around the verse share their most emergent gameplay stories. And remember, this segment is about you. Come on the Friday show at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and tell your story to get put into one of these videos of amazing stories in the verse. All right, go ahead, buddy.
All right. Well, my emergent gameplay from Star Citizen started maybe about 2 years ago when we used to have the black box missions.
Okay.
I don't think they have black box missions anymore, but basically a black box mission is when you accept a mission and you go to a blown up spaceship that's derelict in the middle of space, retrieve the black box, and you bring it back to Port Olisar to the guy standing by the desk. That's when the guy used to work and do stuff. There weren't any
when he had a half of a soul.
Exactly. That was before the drop-off boxes. So I accept this mission and I go out there. I was in my Avenger Titan. So I get out the Avenger Titan. Actually, no, I was in my Cutlass Black that day. So I get out the Cutlass Black and I'm searching. It was a wreckage of a Starfarer. So you can imagine it's a big wreckage, going inside and out, searching for this black box. And I'm inside the wreckage, just floating around. And the next thing you know, I guess somebody else showed up. I guess they accepted the message too as well. So I guess they're over there and they see my ship and they blow my ship up.
Ooh.
I'm like, oh man, so now I'm stranded here and I haven't even found the black box yet. So I guess he starts circling the wreckage, just looking for me. So I'm in the dark. I'm in my standard undersuit, my standard RSI undersuit with my standard arc light pistol with my 30 shots only.
Oh man.
That's all I had. So he is circling the wreckage. And I'm just hiding, man. I'm like, please go away. But obviously, I was like, all right, so if he goes away and he doesn't kill me, I'll just put up a beacon and see if somebody will rescue me. Now, let me tell you something about Star Citizen if you want to have emergent gameplay.
Okay.
I have a rule. Don't commit suicide if you don't have to. Because that's kind of like taking away the immersion. You committing suicide in the middle of space just to start over. But I don't like to do that unless I'm like really bugged out in a glitch. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm completely stuck in between a wall or under the map or something and there's no way out. You commit suicide. But if you're not, don't commit suicide. That ruins your stories. So
right.
Even back then, I don't commit suicide. So I try to figure my way out. So this guy is circling the wreckage, and then I guess he stops, gets out of his ship, and this was new. I think back in those days, it was just before you're able to lock your ship, but they just added the ship lock. So I was like, okay, maybe this guy doesn't know to lock his ship. So he gets out, and I see him floating. He doesn't see me. He thinks nobody's there. So I pull out my pistol and I was like, man, it's either gonna be him or me, and I'm choosing me. So I kill him. Sorry, I mean, what am I supposed to do? He blew my ship up.
Yeah.
I need a ship to get out of here. So I was gonna kill him, take his ship, and just go back to Port Olisar and spawn my own ship and continue the mission. So I shoot him up with my arc light, kill him. And then I go over to his ship. Unfortunately, he locked it.
Oh.
Unfortunately, he locked it. So I'm just there floating in space. So I was like, okay, let me put up a rescue beacon. Hopefully somebody answers and they come and rescue me. So I put up a rescue beacon for someone to come get me. Thank goodness someone responded to the beacon, came and got me, brought me back to Port Olisar. And I was able to Well, I just canceled the mission, man. I just started over. But just being out there from a simple black box mission that just turned into um, something for survival.
Exactly.
Where I'm like, hey, listen, you just shot up, you blew up my ship. I was not I just came here to get a box and go back to Port Olisar. I wasn't trying to shoot you. I wasn't trying to do anything. I'm just trying to survive out here in the verse. And I'm just in the dark, hiding from his. He had his searchlights on and everything,
Dude,
hiding. I'm just hiding with my pistol out. And it was back in the day. It was like I was like still pretty new, so I was like, I felt like the emotions. I was like I had like a lot of fear. I was like, oh man, he's gonna get out his ship. He's gonna see me. He's gonna shoot me. So thank goodness I was just hiding in the dark, man, and just in the rubble of the Starfarer that was there. And he gave up looking and he got out. And he closed the back door. I was like hoping he would not close the back door.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, don't lock the ship so I can take your ship and go back to Port Olisar. So I'm sitting there hiding, moving around the wreckage, making sure he doesn't see me. And then when I see him floating towards the wreckage, obviously he's going to see me. So I shoot him. I'm like, okay, he's dead. Let me go check his ship. And the ship was locked. So I did what I had to do and I survived. So I was able to call for a beacon, and somebody responded to the beacon. He came and picked me up. I can't remember. I think he came and picked me up in I can't remember the ship. It was so long ago. And he brought me back to Port Olisar. And also, I have a second mission. I think I've told you in YouTube comments that you have to be careful of those beacons because sometimes it could be a pirate trap.
Yeah.
I got lured into a pirate trap with a beacon.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. So
well, before you start in on that, I just want to, if anybody's watching this, to realize what it felt like for him when he was inside that wreckage, and there's this sound of the ship that is circling around this wreckage, and every nook and cranny where there's a hole or a crack or a crevice or a doorway, that these searchlights are just pouring into this wreckage, and what it felt like for him to have to hide through this, not knowing what was going to happen. Is he going to start firing into the doorway? Is he going to send a missile in there? Is he going to get out? Is he going to come in? Just how scary and just how emergent that is. That's the biggest draw to this game. And I just want people to just soak that in for a second and try to realize what it felt like when he was in there being circled by this thing, and just the lights and the sounds of the ship. It's just truly amazing.
Just being in the complete darkness and just have my searchlight on, and actually no, I had to turn my searchlight off because I don't want him to see me.
Exactly.
I just want him to think I'm not even there. So
yeah, like
I said, when it came down to me and him, I chose me. I want to survive.
Heck yeah. All right, so what's the other one?
All right, there's another. Like I told you, you have to be careful of those beacons. Someone put out a distress beacon, and I responded to him. I was like, okay, so let me go pick up this guy. And I think it was on the moon of Selin or Yella. And I approached him. I was in the Cutlass Black, I think, at the time. And no, I was in an Avenger. I was an Avenger that time, and I approached him. I go down there. I see his ship is destroyed, and he's just standing there, man. I was like, oh man, what did you do? He's like, oh yeah, I just crashed my ship. I was like, all right, come on, I gave you a ride. So I let him on my ship, and the next thing you know, he pulls his gun on me. He's like, all right, I'm taking this ship. I was like, oh wow. He starts shooting at my front. I'm flying, so I can't turn around or pull my weapon. So he starts shooting at the front glass to let me know, hey, he means business. I'm like, oh, come on, man. I just flew all the way over here, and he canceled the beacon, so I couldn't get paid. So I flew all the way over here, picked you up. You're gonna do me like this? So I was like, all right, buddy. So I had no other choice. I set the ship to self-destruct, and we both went down.
Oh man.
We both went down. So when you respond to a beacon, I try to tell people, listen, when you have your finger on the backspace button to get right, because when he starts shooting, hold that backspace button, set that ship to self-destroy, so he gets his punishment too, because he's going to take you out.
That, you know, we talked about, I hate the word that you use the word suicide, but I, you know, because of some of the people out there that have dealt with stuff like that in their life. But, so I like to use the word respawn or self-destruct or stuff like
That's
that.
fine.
But, so we talked about not respawning and dealing with the emergent gameplay, but in a situation like that, that is emergent. That is immersion. Is you have no other choice. It's either, you know, you're going down with the ship, you're gonna die anyway, you're gonna have to respawn anyway, so may as well take him out at the same time. So yeah, dude, that is awesome.
So like I said, you know, always be careful of the. Like I said, I've done some very successful responding to distress beacons just fine. It got paid and everything, but there are some people who will set you up, and there's like, you go down there and there's a whole gang, or there's 2 or 3 guys, and you're by yourself. You're like, oh man, so I'm kind of outnumbered and outgunned here, and I have the ship, and these guys need me. They can just easily just take you out and take your ship, and take your cargo.
Yeah, but I tell you what, I don't know if I'm just one of those people who, I don't know if I take a transport mission and accept that beacon to go pick somebody up, I'm the kind of guy that hopes something weird is going to happen on this mission. You know what I mean? Because I love that emergent gameplay. I would actually like it if I get there and find out that the guy's a little hostile, because it's going to make that gameplay memorable. And
absolutely,
even if he's not, though, because that guy's going to have a story to tell that he could tell me while we're driving or flying and I'm dropping him off to where he's going to go. And just hearing his story is going to be amazing. How he got into that predicament. Why is his ship destroyed? You know, and that's why I'm doing this series, Amazing Stories in the Verse, because I don't know if it's just, if it's by accident that the way this game was designed was for real life situations to take place.
I mean, it's so amazing that, you know, what made me really fall in love with this game is like, yeah, I can go pick up a box and deliver it, but let me tell you, it's never the same.
No, anything can happen to you.
Never happen. Same things never ever happen, and that's the beauty of this game, is the replayability. That when you're just doing a simple mission, the same thing will never happen. And that's why I always tell people, hey, when you play Star Citizen, try to record yourself, because you're gonna have those things that happen to you. You're like, man, I wish I was recording this, because that was awesome.
Oh yes. And you know, like a simple box mission, where people, you know, like all the repetitive, all you're doing is picking them up, box and deliver. I had a mission where I don't know if you've seen it, but I crashed and dropped my box onto this big giant rock, and I couldn't get up there. So I had
of course I seen that one.
That's, you know, I had to problem solve that one and hover my ship, jump out of the door onto the rock, jump back in, which I didn't think I was going to make it. And that had that simple, repetitive box mission had, you know, normal people would have said, nah, abandoned mission. I'm not a normal person.
I was on the edge of my seat. I was on the edge of my seat when you made that jump. I held my breath. I was like,
yeah,
he made it.
And I didn't know about the ship controls, and I messed something up. So my ship was going so slow throughout most of that. That recording was actually 6 hours long. Mm-hmm. That's how long it took me to do that box mission. 6 freaking hours. And people were like, well, you're stupid. Like, no, it was fun. I got a story to tell, you know? And I don't know why it took me 6. I didn't know my ship controls. I messed something up, and my ship wasn't going fast. And I figured it out right at the last minute, though.
And if you don't mind, I actually do have one last good story to tell as well.
Go ahead, buddy.
All right. Let's see. I don't know what happened, but I acquired a crime stat. I rarely do, but I did have a crime stat. I think it was about level 4. I don't know what I did. So I flew over the space station Karea. This is just recently, so this is when the hacking chips were out.
Yeah.
So I had my hacking chip, and I go to fly over the space station. And I actually have this on video. I need to find it on YouTube, and I'll share it. But I go into Space Station Karea. Unfortunately, you know when you approach, those turrets are shooting at your ship. So I'm just trying to maneuver my way in there, hit the landing, jump on the landing pad, and I get out. I was able to get out just in time, and the turrets blew my ship up. So now I'm there with no ship and no way to get out. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go in. I'm just gonna go in, delete my crime stat, hope nobody is here, and call for a beacon of help and get picked up. So I go inside slowly. You know, those places are usually guarded now.
Yeah.
I go inside and I'm slowly walking around, and then I see dead bodies everywhere.
Ooh.
Dead bodies left. So somebody killed all security. So I was heavily armed at that time. I had my S71 rifle and my S38 pistol. So I was like, okay, well, obviously these bodies didn't die on their own. Somebody's here. So I'm creeping around really quiet in the dark. Space Station Karea. So I was on the upstairs level looking down, and I see a guy. He's over there deleting his prime stat. Let me tell you something. If you know anything about Star Citizen, there's always a shootout at Space Station Karea.
It's the most dangerous place in the entire verse.
Yes, because criminals are going there to get rid of their crime stats. So
right, so why not kill somebody because they're going to erase it anyway, right? So if they haven't started erasing it yet, then it's game on for a gunfight.
Yes. So you know, this is one of the most dangerous places in the verse. So I'm not trying. So I was trying to be nice. So this is like the first version of VoIP. So I was just like, okay, I see him. I'm looking down on him. I have my pistol aimed at his head. So let me try to communicate with him. So I get on the chat. I'm like, hey, at Space Station Karea, are you friendly? I got no response. I go on VoIP. I use the VoIP chat, like with the voice chat, like, hey, are you friendly? Still no response. So I was like, oh man, so I have no other choice. I'm gonna have to shoot this guy.
Yeah.
Because I don't want any trouble. Because I remember one time you went in there, and thank goodness the guy was one of your big fans, and he spared you. Because I think that one episode that you did.
The remember? Russian. Yeah.
Yes, the Russian guy.
And he was streaming at the same time too.
Oh yeah, I remember. So I was like, all right, it's either him or me. I'm gonna survive this. So from the upstairs balcony there, through the window, through the crack, he didn't even see it coming. I filled his head with his own blood, just like
That's awesome. I
filled his head with his own blood. All right, so the way is clear. I go down there. I'm here alone. I'm here all alone, so I go down there and I clear my crime stat. All right, so my crime stat's clear. Now I gotta figure out a way to get out of here. So I go outside. Just by luck, guess what I see?
What's that?
I see his Valkyrie and his back door is open.
Oh, wow.
His back door is wide open.
Why would you do that there?
I got lucky this time. So, but unfortunately, the Valkyrie, it was parked in such a way that I think it was nose down and the tail end was up, so I couldn't jump in. So I ran off the edge of the platform and EVA'd, and then I dropped down onto the ramp, got into the Valkyrie, took off, and I made my escape out of there scot-free.
Wow.
So like I said, you know, when it comes down to the verse, you know, I don't like to, you know the word respawn. I think that's, you know, a weak move. I think you should get immersed in the game. These things are going to happen. You figure your way out. You got to think on your feet.
Yeah.
And when you do, you're going to always have stories to tell. And if you're able to record, stream, let everybody see this. Yeah, let everybody see this, and you will see what a great game design that this game is, that any simple mission can turn into some completely different emergent gameplay that you were not expecting. And you should just always have to try to be prepared for anything that may or may not happen.
Right. Dion, thank you so much for telling me your stories, buddy.
Absolutely, man. I'll be more than happy. I'm always happy to share my stories, and always there in the comments with you on YouTube and there on Twitter. I'm always following you. Ever since I saw your very first video, man, I've just fallen in love with your video series. I never miss an episode. I just want to tell
Thank
you
you,
that.
bud. The last one for this video here was sent to me as a audio file over Twitter by Ivan. Thank you so much, Ivan, for sending this in to me. We've got so many more locked and loaded, ready for episode 3, but don't hesitate to email me at xcobra.tv@gmail.com your story, whether you want to record it audio-wise or if you want to come on the show on Friday to tell me about it yourself, or call me so we could schedule something up in a private Discord call where you could tell me your amazing story. But please don't stop these coming in. This is an amazing series that really has me excited. I love hearing all these stories, and there's so many more to tell. So please, tell your amazing story in the verse.
This is my most vivid story from my short 1-month playtime of Star Citizen. I was at Port Olisar, looking for boxes to carry. Looking in chat, someone was asking for a escort for a cargo run. He was here at the station already. First no one responded, and I told myself, let's do it. Messaged him to meet me over the station rings. I hopped in my Reliant Tana, having a soft spot for Reliance. I upgraded it with all Gatlings and gimbals and swapped for Rattler missiles and the strongest shields. Took off and saw a freelancer barrel rolling in front of me. We set the party, and I told him to set destination and jump. He told me that he has used almost all of his money for the run, and if I can call someone to do the escort with us will be much better. He did not expected Tana as a escort fighter. Well, yeah, it's not Vanguard, but it can kick some butts without problem. I assured him that we will be cautious and that his ship has respectable punch too. I have never done a cargo run, but NPC pirates are easily disposable with ships like ours. He set the course and we jumped. Mid-quantum we was interdicted by the police. He told me that his heart stopped when we was interdicted. Hey, this is common, don't worry, I told him. And after the scan we jumped again. But after few moments we was pulled again. Maybe when we was scanned by the police, someone other picked our signals too. At the moment we dropped there were 3 uncommon looking ships. I thought, other players. Damn, really? What a luck on my first escort. They were Mantis still glowing red, an arrow and a damn Valkyrie. The cargo guy was like, oh shit, oh damn, my money, my cargo. They found I told you. You must hold them. And punched it to run away. I saw that the Mantis is not moving. Using the situation I locked on it, and fired 2 missiles. Never happened before, but the missiles directly hit and the Mantis was gone, like the ship was off power. I turned to see the freelancer. He was cowardly drawing distance, not even trying to fight. The arrow was chasing, and closing. The Valkyrie was seemingly ignoring me and going for the freighter too. I told myself, let's deal with the arrow first. The cargo guy was screaming over the mic, with or without you I am spooling and running. The arrow preoccupied with chasing was an easy target. 1 missile locked and away. When I fired the missile, he swung his ship, but it was too late, the missile hit him. I was closing behind him, showering him with the Gatlings. The fighter exploded, and was spinning uncontrollably, but still stayed as active target. Then the pilot ejected. I locked missiles on the Valkyrie and fired. Finally, the traitor's freelancer jumped in quantum, seemingly okay. But I was left behind. I know that Valkyrie has no missiles, but was it manned? The answer to that question came fast as I saw top turret shooting at me. We was dancing all around. I was trying to stay under the line of the turret, but this damn thing is a tank, and for sure saw some upgrades. Soon, I was out of missiles. The fight ensues and I was able to drop his shield and start to damage the hull. And in just that moment I was out of ammo. But he was low on ammo too, because only the turret was firing. I thought, I cannot win this, let's call it a day, and started spooling, but the Reliants are not known for their speed. Then the Valkyrie rammed me. My ship lost 1 wing and started to roll very fast like the arrow did. Eject, was I thinking, but Tana has no ejection seat. He rammed me again. This time I was thrown from the cockpit in space, and saw the last bit of my ship exploding. But I was alive. Wait, what? I was alive? I tried to chat with the cargo guy to give me a ride, but he refused. But I was not expecting other response. He made the easy decision to sacrifice me for his cargo, and now I was stranded in deep space. I watched the bruised Valkyrie retrieving his ejected pal from the arrow. Well, it's time to suicide. But after collecting the pilot, the Valkyrie started closing on me. He came with open door and the crew with guns pointing at me. Well, this is the end, I was thinking. But no, they started gesturing to EVA inside. And I did. When inside I saw that there is damage in the interior and sparks flying. The pilot must be very mad at me right now. I was at gunpoint all time. Valkyrie closed the door and jumped. I tried to talk to them but they don't responded. Only gestures. I thought, where are they taking me? Are they going to execute me on a planet, or dump me in quantum? After considerable amount of time the Valkyrie landed and opened the door. We was in grim hex. With gestures again, the crew persuaded me to leave the ship. I exited walking backwards. One of the players saluted me while the pilot was closing the door. I was shocked, and did not manage to respond. I was relieved that I survived. This turned out to be not as I expected. It was amazing gameplay moment, and those guys was some respectful pirates. It was like a movie that emerged from the game. Let's hope the trader arrived to the destination and took his hefty profit. Wish him all the best. Remembering this now, makes me think what a total rookies we were. Asking in global chat for escort, not a great idea. Well, at least it's a story to tell.